guys, what's going on today? Today we're going to be talking about what's coming up, and, well, not so much the what's content-wise, what's being released in War Thunder 1.63, but some of the more recent announcements and more possibly unnoticed change that they've been announcing. And one of them I'm actually pretty excited about because it affects me in particular. It affects everyone actually. And one of the things that was actually just announced today is texture streaming in War Thunder, and it's on all platforms. And I'll leave a link to this announcement in the description. And here it says, we'll start with the quick version. If you're playing a less powerful computer or a PS4, you may have noticed that you connect to battles only after they've started. To optimize loading time, texture streaming has been added to War Thunder. This provides the means to significantly reduce the time required to load into battle and allows you to join the battle at the same time as all other players. Now, I have to say, I've noticed this. If you've played on PlayStation 4, you've definitely noticed this issue. It has been brought up and I guess I could say complained about. I mean, it's been an issue. You do spawn in later, and I didn't even think about people who have, also similar stats as like with for PC might also have these issues. But now they're gonna reduce that. So I don't know if I'm going to include a picture or not. I'll figure it out later in editing. But they do have a chart here that does show. It takes Normandy and Porta Novosarsky is whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I know. I messed up twice. They take those two maps and they show a difference between 1.61 and 1.63, and one chart's for PC and one's for PS4, and it's to show the differences in the countdown and loading time. And there's a pretty significant difference. The countdown is, well, it's all to balance things out, so everyone's coming in at the same time. The idea here is, look, I'll go into a little more detail here. Speeding up loading on all platforms. While loading a battle, your processor, video card, and hard disk work together to load all the required in-game textures into memory. Large textures require longer to load, but the time can be reduced if the game is allowed to load textures of reasonable quality but a smaller size. This allows the player to begin the game and play while the remaining textures are loading. This approach speeds up loading by up to 30%. Now, this is a brilliant idea. So basically, kind of break it down generally. Essentially, instead of spawning in, this is how I've at least perceived it, and I think this is generally or somewhat accurate. Basically, instead of waiting longer, waiting to spawn, waiting for textures and everything to load around you, waiting for everything to get all pretty, so it's nice and pretty and ready when you spawn in, it's going to spawn you in, and while you're they're going to minimize the standards required for textures to preload before you spawn in. And once you've spawned in, as you're flying and driving whatever you're doing, it's not that they're actually getting rid of textures or downgrading them, but they're changing the way that they load into the game so that there's instead of waiting to spawn in, waiting for them to load and then spawn in, you're spawning in sooner and it's loading slower, essentially. So you're in the game faster, and yes, technically at the cost of things are loading in slower, the environment and things around you, and with the detail wise at least. So from what I can see, they're not actually downgrading any content, which I was a little concerned about when I first saw it. So after I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. This is what is ideal and that they should be doing. Right. So, and this is affecting everyone. This does affect PC and PS4. It's going to be a huge one for PS4 though, because this has been a big issue affecting anyone who's on that. It also talks here, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, that's the big part. It talks about improving replays in spectator mode, um, you know, high quality textures only loaded for player's model while basic textures were used for everyone else. Basic quality. Streaming allows the loading of high quality textures in real time, both for the ally you're observing or in a replay, which increases quality on the whole in these modes. This improvement will initially work only for specific vehicle textures. And this is also, there's a couple other changes. Speeding up top spec computers. There's fewer bugs related to inefficient video memory by reducing the quality of less important textures. More free memory, etc. So very good. And on a side note to all of that, they've also mentioned in just barely at the bottom that in addition, we've used new technology to reduce the size of future updates on the PS4, which again, good news for PS4. So this isn't exclusively for PlayStation users, but I will say it's a big one for PlayStation players. And the other minor one I'm going to talk about, by the way, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention this, 1.63 has been announced for tomorrow. It will be released on September 29th. I was going to say 2016, but I mean, I think it's irrelevant for whatever. Like, if you're watching this in the future, hey, that's good, but I mean, that piece of information is going to be that important. Whatever, moving on. So the other piece of information that I found pretty prevalent, combining words here, is that they've improved. This one was announced. You might have already seen this. This isn't new news. They announced this on the 23rd of September. They're increasing or improving visuals for tracer ammunition, explosives, and flames on burning vehicles. So there's going to be a difference. And they gave a little preview. They fired the Oswind, the Spitfire, and that they are doing old and new comparison. And personally, for me and a lot of ours, they didn't see a massive difference in the planes tracer rounds, but there was a slightly cleaner look to the Oswind, and certainly a bit different for fires. So, this will be good. They're doing a lot of mechanical and visual improvements to the game, which I think are fantastic. I think guys did a really good job. This is going to be a fantastic update. I don't play a lot of high tier, but I know that that I've heard that higher tier needs some more vehicles. They'll balance it out, including jets and now AAA. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy and found it helpful. Maybe you learned something new you didn't know before. And I will... we'll see what happens with 1.63. I'm certainly, well, as far as content-wise, there's been plenty of our people reporting on the content of it. We'll see what I buy, we'll see what goes on, but I will all see you on the servers once 1.63 goes live. And I'll catch you then. See you guys.